I'm Nick Seco from HomeRight Windows and Doors, and we're located in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. So we do vinyl replacement windows, we do steel and fiberglass entry doors, we do aluminum storm doors, and we do sliding patio doors, all made by Provia. The windows are a vinyl replacement window, and it could be anything from double hungs to casements to bay and bow windows and everything in between. So when somebody calls in the office and needs an estimate, they get Roxanne on the phone typically, and she would schedule an appointment for me to come out and take some measurements, provide some literature, go through what options we have, and then I would follow up within about 24 to 48 hours with an estimate with all the details of the products as well as the installed price. I find that we're typically much more affordable than the companies that you see advertising on TV or in a lot of other places. If they're spending a lot of advertising dollars, obviously they're passing those costs on to their consumers. You could go to our website at homerightwaynesboro.com, or you could call us at 717-749-4874.
Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk TriState with Tiny and Katie.
Welcome back to Let's Talk TriState, all powered by HomeRight Windows and Doors in Waynesboro. The right choice, winner in the 2024 Best of the TriState Awards. We have Jason Morris. He is the owner of Teflon Roofing joining us today. What's up, buddy? Good to see you again.
Good to see you. Thanks for having us back again.
Pleasure as always, man. Last time you were here, and actually the last two times you were here, we talked about how we were in your slow season.
Yeah.
So you weren't really getting any jobs, and you weren't really taking any jobs. And now you come in here and not only tell me that obviously you're back, warmer weather, ramping up, but you had, 15 jobs the next week?
Next 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks. Yeah. Wow, that's incredible. Well, good for you.
Yeah. We're having some complications with our main truck right now, though.
Yeah,
so
we were telling you that, yeah.
Yeah, man.
You'll get it worked out, I know.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, those are just, what the price of doing business, I guess is what they say.
Yeah, you got to be a good problem solver, man.
Yep. Well, let's talk about those problems. One of those problems being the one you specialize in, and that is roofing. Over the time you've been coming in here, we've touched on a few things, and I feel like today we're kind of going to bring all three of those together in just a little bit more detail and dive into them.
Okay.
So the first one is, and I love that you said this, the very first interview we had here on Let's Talk TriState with you, you said about making sure you get multiple estimates. You as a business owner saying, encouraging your client base to get more estimates.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Okay, so I'd probably say 3-4 years ago, like getting 2 or 3 was totally fine. Mm-hmm. And obviously social media, AI technology, everything else has completely transformed everything the past year. Right. And what you're seeing is now a lot of people are starting roofing companies, and they are just strictly marketing companies. You know what I mean? They're selling you a contract, and then in return, they're subbing that out to different groups. Sure. And a lot of the time, it's the cheapest possible labor. So a big part of that on the back end for especially the homeowners is like before you wanted at least 2. You know what I mean? Do a little bit of due diligence. Don't just click on one ad and then automatically accept that person because, 2 weeks ago we had, down in Chambersburg, we had Leedy Drive, an estimate down there, and she had a quote for $50,000, $60,000, and we came in at $16,000. Okay. And we install like quality. You know what I mean? I'm not cutting corners. We're a silver pledge for GAF, so we have the second highest warranty rating that you can through GAF, and we're trying to get Master Elite next year, but it's kind of a complicated issue for somebody that doesn't do a lot of storm restoration because storm restoration jobs trip over. And I don't mean trip over. They double over. Like you're constantly hitting areas with storms and things like that. So the big thing is, I even tell my clients and I ask them, like, you want to have at least 3 estimates. Okay. You want to have a good spectrum of what's going on. And if you have somebody come into your home and they give you a price and then they're dropping thousands and thousands of dollars, like I've always had an issue for that because like if you just gave me a $4,000 discount because I just said no to you the first time, like
how much further could you go?
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like you're trying to, take advantage of me in a way. So
well, I saw a while back this was just all over social media. It probably still is. And I think this is, if not exactly, it's partly what you're talking about with companies that basically just need to get a pen to paper and then they sub everything out, is I saw all these posts of vent cleaning. dryer vent cleaning, your duct cleaning, all these different types of cleanings.
Yep.
And I assumed it has to be a scam. But then I do a little research and come to find out that 90% of these, you will get your ducts cleaned or whatever, your ventilation cleaned. But what's happening is someone in some foreign country is putting all this up there.
Yep.
You're reaching out to them. They're acting as if they are the company.
Yep.
And they are basically, it looks like they're an agent and getting jobs. Mm-hmm. So they just, once Jason says, yeah, I want my ducts cleaned.
Yep.
Well, they're going to reach out to some local party to do that, show up. You're not any the wiser, but the price you're paying is vastly more than what you're actually, you know what I mean? They prepay, they do all this stuff. So is it a scam? Not really, but they're charging you way more than they should.
Yeah, 100%. And it's happening a lot in every single hands-on trade right now, you know what I mean? Because it's roofing has become the gold rush in 2025, just because it's so easy to learn the back end of it, which is like 80% of the business. But the 20%, which is the install, is the most important part without a doubt, because that's where all your warranties are going to come from. And if you have somebody offering you 2 different shingle manufacturers, that's not a good sign, because there's a lot of good shingle manufacturers out there, and I'm not going to say one is better than the other at all.
Right. Sure.
But at the same time, if that contractor is offering you 2 different shingles, like when that manufacturer warranty comes in and you didn't use all the products from that same manufacturer, you're just giving the manufacturer an out through arbitration and everything else not to cover your roof.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it's getting dicey for homeowners,
dicey
man.
Is the word I was going to use,
We try to be as transparent as possible, inform as much as possible. Like, we won a job in Mechanicsburg about a month ago just because I told the guy that he needed to get at least 3 estimates, and he's like, he kind of hesitated, and I was like, nobody told you that, did he? He's like, no. He's like, I knew that already. He's like, and I got 5 estimates. And like 2 weeks later, he called me back, and he was very appreciative. He was like, I can't believe you said that. You know, it's like, hey, even if it's not us, if you don't feel comfortable going with us, I always want homeowners to do what they feel is best.
Yeah.
Because, dude, you work your ass off your entire life to buy a roof. And nobody wants to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you got to get taken care of.
Well, I mean, the thing is, too, is that how something starts out sets the tone for how it's going to work out. Mm-hmm. So if they start out hesitant, perhaps not liking you, but going with you or for whatever reason, that mentality can carry through the entire process. And then when it's all said and done, even if it may be a perfect job, you run the risk of this person just going on blasting you on social media, taking ratings down, doing whatever. But to your point is the guy had a good feeling about you. You were upfront. You were honest. It started out on honesty. Yep. It started out in integrity. You all got along, and then all the way through. And then now I'm sure you have referrals from this person in perpetuity, which is exactly what you're looking for.
100%.
Let's talk about the types of roofs that people can get. I see a lot of metal roofs, and I love the idea of it because I believe they're long-lasting or longer-lasting. So take our audience through why metal roofs versus shingles, or is it even a contest? Is it just a matter of preference?
Well, the shingles have been skyrocketing here of late, and the shingle or the metal prices have been actually going down. I mean, I know we're having some problems in the government right now where prices are probably going to start to go up, and it's going to be a rough year. But the metal's going to last forever. You know what I mean? Like, there's all different types of metal roofs out there. You can do the metal shingle, which we offer, standing seam, and then the corrugated. The only thing I advise about the corrugated, if you get one of those companies in there where that salesman's just trying to get a signature from you, he's not going to inform you that regardless of what screw you use on that exposed fastener corrugated panel, you're going to have to replace that screw in 20 years. Our manufacturer has a paper that says, hey, you got a 40-year warranty on this screw. That's really not the case. Like, it doesn't say anything about the rubber gasket. Right. And there's another company that has a plastic clip that goes over top of that metal gasket, which is amazing and works spectacular. But the only problem that I'm foreseeing, now I'm only speaking from a logical opinion because I haven't actually seen it yet, the contraction and expansion of the panel here in Pennsylvania, because we can get all 4 seasons in the same week.
And we do, yeah.
Is going to make that plastic cap dig down into the panel. So instead of having to replace the screws in 20 years, you might run into actually having to replace full panels at that point. Yeah. So I'm a person, like, I have to see it for myself, but logically for me, and having installed as many roofs as I have, I foresee that being an issue down the line.
I can see where you're coming from on that, yeah. So again, you think it's more right now you're seeing an uptick in metal because metal's prices are at least they're going down seemingly?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
They are. And it used to be before where, the only difference between an easy house like a rancher, between the pricing for gutter or between the pricing for a shingle roof and a metal roof, the corrugated, was just the gutters. So you have to upgrade your gutters if you're going to get a metal roof put on. And now, like, I've had 2 proposals in the last 2 weeks where the metal roof and the gutters was actually cheaper than what the shingles were. So it's yeah, dude, 2025 is going to be real interesting.
That is interesting.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, well, let's wrap up with this then, Jason. We've talked about the getting second opinions or quotes, and then the type of roof, shingles versus metal. But now let's talk about insurance. From what I've gathered, there's something that not a lot of homeowners know when it comes to their roof and insurance. Now, I think a lot of folks who are listening and watching, if I stopped right now and said, take 5 seconds to think about the correlation between the two, most people would probably say, well, sure, the roof is part of, they're going to look at my roof for a homeowner's insurance, but there's something more specific to it. What is that?
Okay, so you're seeing that has been a big fad in the past 5 to 10 years were the insurance restoration companies, which is totally fine because I'm all about homeowners getting a new roof where they don't have to pay for it and their insurance company covers. But there's a lot of things coming into play now. One, all insurance companies are trying to split the way the policies are written. Mm-hmm. So you're getting your homeowner's insurance coverage, but you're going to have a roof coverage and hail coverage and wind coverage as a secondary option that you don't have to do. More than likely, it's going to become part of your premiums. Okay, so another big thing that we run into, and we've been trying to help real estate agents with this, is if your roof is older than 15 years old and you're buying a property, that home inspection is not good enough. Okay. Because if you don't get a certified roof inspection and the roofer doesn't tell you that, hey, this roof is going to last another 3 to 5 years, your insurance company is not going to cover you because the roof is at 15 years. We're in a really weird time now where all the shingles that are out here, they're saying a 50-year tag on them. In Pennsylvania, that's just not the case. We call it the lifetime lie because you're looking like 30, 35 years if it's installed properly. But the problem with that is that the shingles back then were listed as 30-year shingles. You know what I mean? So when you're getting to that 20-year, that 10-year buffer, that's really when you need to replace that roof. And the insurance companies are just trying to cover their investment, basically. Sure, you know what I'm saying? And it's saying that if it's older than 15 years, we're not going to insure you. They actually pulled that with me at the beginning of last year as well. Okay. And my roof was 18 years old.
Your personal roof?
Yes.
Okay.
And they said, hey, you need to replace it. And I was like, that's kind of crappy, but at least,
at least you know
a
guy
that can do it. Yeah, 100%. And I'm actually installing that. We're going to put a metal shingle on it. So
would you take some pictures and bring them with you next time, and we'll pop them into the video? So
absolutely.
Can see that, or
you guys can go into our gallery page too, but it's not like it's kind of hard to tell the difference between a shingle roof and a metal shingle. Like you look at it and you're like, that doesn't look like a shingle roof.
Okay.
And it is. It's just metal. It's a lot more prominent. Yeah. But I'll make sure Andy gets those pictures, dude.
Get some footage of you guys doing some installs. That'd be really cool to put in here so people can see how the process goes down.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. TeflonRoofing.com is the website. We've had Jason here with us. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll have you back again, of course.
Yes, sir.
Let's Talk Tri-State, all powered by Legends Bar in Chambersburg. Satisfy your sports game day fix with specials in Cold Brews, Hollywell Avenue in Chambersburg.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.